Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Green Bay Packers as they get set to square off against the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they're running right through it. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. The man in charge for this crew, the 6'1 quarterback from the University of Houston. It's the veteran Case Keenum.
I'm absolutely eager to watch him play in this game because here we are, Week 15. Not a lot of games left down the stretch. But will he get outside of himself trying to make huge plays in order to try and win an MVP? Because he's not in the #1 spot right now.
No, he's not. I think everyone consensus thinks that way. You hope he doesn't get outside of himself right now, though, because that could really get their offense out of sync. And it's been in sync most of this year.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, You can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
On second down, Freeman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Give to Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. The give is to Jones. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Crosby on now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. first and 10. Here's Keenum. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first and 10, Keenum finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. He goes underneath to Ingram. And a broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the post.
Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Jones running left. Still fighting. And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He had the big touchdown run on the first drive and more room to maneuver right there.
And the big guys up front, they're feeling chesty and strong, creating nice openings for him.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Here's Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slapped. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point try now for Crosby.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. From the gun, here's Keenum. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. To throw on second down is Keenum. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. And now the Packers going to take another timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Marquette King now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Whoosh. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So 2nd down. Still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now it's Rodgers trying to lay one. It got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
It's a gain of 5 on the play. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, Keenum. And oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Jake Ryan in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Here's Marquette King now. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get things started in the NFC. Seattle making its way out to Soldier Field. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And that one's gone to halftime with the visiting Jags out in front. Leonard Fournette, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys will start the third quarter with the lead as we get you back out to Denver and hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended. Receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, check 26.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cobb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short and shallow.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Sua Cravens. In there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Ingram again, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On play action, it's Keenum. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Jake Ryan in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. This is taken at the 23. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a 3rd quarter score. And it's now the Bears leading by a couple of touchdowns in that one. Jordan Howard moving ever so close to a 100-yard game. He is at 97 right now. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he's got some space here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing now is Keenum. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Kentrell Bryce picks it. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there, Rodgers to Adams, 51 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. John Simon in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers continue to roll. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now we're going to get a stoppage as that looks to be Kaiser who's shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, Keenum. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Keenum now to throw. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
To throw is Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Steps away to his left. And he fires one incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Keenum. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team. And they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Wide, get wide. Get up.
They'll run it with Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Get reset. Hey, easy. 319. 319. No. 319.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
Get reset. Hey,
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to